mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's the Al Travis Show. Lucky to have our next guest, he's Senator Aric Putnam. Senator, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me around.
No, and I don't think I am, and this is why. And I want you here as the sounding board on this. Sometimes when I think, well, duh, when I'm reading something, it's like, how can anyone think the other way? In which case, I know I'm probably got my big conservative hackles up, and maybe you can either agree with me or tell me, no, Al, here's why I'm wrong. Can we do a couple of these real quick?
Absolutely, that's what I'm for.
The federal government, they passed this, put the Epstein files out. Now, I don't know the cat. All I know is what I see in the paper. This guy was a bad man. And these files been, 10 years in the making. Heard both sides, not going to let him out. I can't for the life of me say why we wouldn't. Now, every Minnesota congressional candidate, they all said, yeah, let's release these. Do you have any idea why we would not? I want bad people to be, now, maybe somebody's name is going to come up and say, hey, I was just on his Christmas list. I don't know him that well. Great, you're going to have to just justify it. But am I wrong? Is this a good thing? And I'm like, duh, get it out. Sorry.
I'm kind of glad we're talking about it. Not only because it's novel and it's newsworthy and all those kinds of things, but one thing you said all of our congressional folks voted for. That's because 4 of them flipped, because 4 of them have been opposing it for forever. And I think that people caved on it because they knew they were going to lose. It's not because they changed their mind or because they believe in transparency. It's because they knew we were going to leave. And here's the thing, my take on this is I don't really care about Epstein himself or about who is in the files, but I do care about fraudulent claims towards transparency. Like when your whole campaign is because you want to clear out the swamp and you just replace it with your own swamp, and that swamp is keeping your pedophilia from everyone knowing about it, that's pretty crap behavior. So that my take is on part of it. Okay.
And again, I'm back to, I have no idea what's in there, and now they're saying there originally wasn't a black boy. I have no idea, but I should know. Why is this guy not having all his stuff thrown out there like, I don't know, the guy in Minnesota here, the senator would calling on, kids in the parking lot, he got kicked out. We knew what happened. They posted that pretty darn quick. Good. I want to know what happened here, because if you are a schmo, I want you out. And if that means we have to have 65 special elections, I just don't, of federal employee, great. Let's go have them. Let's get through this bad boy. I don't care. So I get your point, but I just want to know why that was such a weird thing.
No, I'm with you on that one. But do you remember a couple of years ago when that dude got caught trying to make out in a men's bathroom at the airport?
Yeah.
We didn't even have pictures or emails or anything, but that guy's like, yeah, I'm a jerk. I'm out. Like, I missed when people would do things like that. Like, oh, yeah, okay, I got caught. I'm a bad person. I'm just going to go away.
I'm never going to know this. I'm never going to know this guy's name, but evidently there's a guy in Washington that was caught on the plane, like going through lady photos in their underwears or bikinis, right? He's just on the plane watching. It's like, and I don't remember the guy's name. Don't really care. But he was like, oh, I don't know. It was an X thing. You know what? Okay. I saw women in their underwear. There wasn't pornography. It wasn't a thing. It's like, okay, I kind of like them when they're wearing. Fine. Just admit it. And then the rest of us can deal with our stuff. It's like, oh, it was an X algorithm. Is that going to be our answer now from now? Well, X through it. I like your idea. Let's just be honest with it. Now, that being said, and this is the snap. I want to talk snap for a minute because Monday I brought up a lot, and I actually had a young lady spend an hour on the phone discussing it with me because she's been a part of the program, knows how it works. Minnesota's got a pretty good program as far as I can tell, according to this young lady. I asked because, long story short, SNAP, they're thinking there's about 500,000 people getting it, might be dead and or double dipping, and they want to fix it. So Trump comes out, great, we'll have you all sign up again. Every year we'll have you sign up. And that seemed to cause a stir. And for me, the dumb moment's like, why wouldn't you? I gotta get my tabs every year, and I got to get my license. I don't see if you're going to ask for money that's over the top asking. She called and said, here in Minnesota, they do. And I didn't know this, that they do go every year. Now, since COVID, you can do it on the phone, actually talk to a human, do it. I don't care. I mean, do Zoom call. Personally, I don't really care, but I was happy to hear that. But here's my issue with this. So the government asks each state to send their SNAP info, who's getting it, who's not. And, of course, we split it right down, the red, blue states. We're not going to give it to you. We're not. I'm going back to well done. Why would you not? If the federal government's saying, here's the money to give to these people, we want to know who you're giving it to, that seems like a no-brainer to me. Am I off the charts here? Send them the stuff.
I don't have a problem with that. Like that's okay. Part of accountability is find out who's getting what and how. I mean, the big issue with SNAP now is the changing of the eligibility requirements.
Yeah, and I wrote all those down. And this, again, I can see how this could be different, and you and I would disagree, but I wrote them down because I was reading it today. For the most part, it's about $190 per person a month. So wife or a young lady and 4 kids, do the math. 42 million people are on it. The work, you have to, now it is, you either have to work, volunteer, or getting classes, a job training for 80 hours a month. So I don't know what that breaks down to, 15 hours a week. No, that isn't right. 20 hours a week. If not, you get 3 months in a 3-year period where you don't have to do that. You just get 3 months if you're, falling hard times. But it went from 18 to 54-year-olds. It is now 18 to 65-year-olds. Everybody, if you're in this bad boy, those are the rules. I guess I'm like, it doesn't bother me that you'd have to be looking for work or trying to get a job or volunteering somewhere. It doesn't bother me that bad. I guess we can agree to disagree on the number, or would you say you should never, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just a numbers thing. How long?
Yeah, I know. I'm glad that you said the actual number, because a lot of people, when they talk about SNAP, they're like, oh, people are buying caviar with it. You can't buy caviar with $187 a month. That's not a real thing. The other thing,
and do you know that for sure? And who wants to eat fish eggs anyway? Yuck.
Exactly. Like, I'm not in the market, so I wouldn't even know. Like, that's not my jam. But you let them turn into fish. That's what I think. Let the turn into fish.
Let them be salmon someday. I love salmon. Don't want them as eggs. Let me ask you this though, and just back to you and I trying to find common ground.
Yeah.
Should there be limits on what you can buy with advice? If I give you $190 because you're having a bad month, should I also be able to say you can't buy M&Ms? And I don't mean to rip the M&M people. I love a good M&M. Peanuts are best. And on that same line, they got like jelly filled now. M&M peanut jelly. Stop M&Ms. There's peanut. There's non-peanut. And from that moment on, they've ruined the M&M business. I just throw it out. I can't stand it.
I'm with you on the M issue. Like, that's another thing on which we agree. We're team M&M on that front. That they should simplify and not get funky with their colors.
Thank you. We don't need any more excuse. But that all being said, do you believe that that's something I should, or if I'm going to give you money, you spend it the way you need to, and then I'm going to get out of the way? Because you see like pop and other stuff. I don't mind a person having a pop once in a while. I drink pop constantly.
Well, here's the thing, though. But so I'm a working person. I think you probably were too at some point, right? Obviously, I'm a little bit more bougie now than I was at one point. But at one point, I had a job. And
yes.
I only had $187 a month to feed myself and another $187 a month to feed my kids. And like 30% of the people on SNAP have disabilities and 40% of kids. Some ridiculous number of the people who are there. And one of the big issues, again, with SNAP and the changes that Trump made is he said that veterans aren't eligible for exemptions anymore. And that's not cool in my book, especially coming from Roger. But when it comes to what restrictions on what you can get, can you imagine how crappy that would be if you're working at the Piggly Wiggly or the Aldi and someone's coming through and you're like, no, you can't get name brand jam. I'm the one who's going for it, that you have to buy the generic kind.
That's it. Well, no, and I'm with you there because I had 3 rules in my life when I got married. When my wife, and one was Heinz ketchup, because let's be honest, Hunt sucks. I wanted Charmin toilet paper because let's be honest, the rest is like sandpaper. I don't like it. So Charmin, and then the third, I'm forgetting off my third one, but anyway, off the top of my head. So I have these things. I don't know that we need to get into what name brand you pick up. Like Jiffy peanut butter is so much better than the generic. I don't know what they do. The generic gets like grease on top. So I don't, but I do think there are categories, right? Dairy you should be able to buy, meat you should be able to buy, produce you should be able to buy. But there's got to be a point where we say marshmallows are out, right? Your kid doesn't need them. It's not going to make them healthier. And, I don't know. I just throw marshmallows out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there shouldn't be some box around it. But then again, if you do that, then I got to decide on everything. And I don't want to do that.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I'm the true man of the people and you're the bougie sellout. And it's because you can tell by the monocle you're wearing. People on the radio can't tell that Aloe wears a monocle and a top hat because that's where he's coming from.
Call me Mr. Monopoly.
Mr. Monopoly, like I couldn't even spell brand name until I was in college. Like I grew up not even on cereal, but on puffed rice that came in like the big garbage bag.
Yeah.
So that's how I operated. But here's the thing, like I have faith in people who are struggling. Like if I only got $187 a month, I'm going to make choices that are best for my kids and for my family because that's all I got.
Sure.
So I think that's where I would start with. I see where you're coming from. I don't think you're totally nuts, but at the same time, I just think people are going to make better choices.
It was all detergent, by the way. I'm allergic. If I have stuff with fabric or stuff in it, I itch like a son of a... So that was the three. We washed my clothes in the same stuff for 30 years. So it was bothering me. But let me throw you this, because this is the trick question. So you're asking for help. Can you buy cigarettes? See, because we all hate cigarettes. The cigarette people suck. We know they're trying to kill us. You shouldn't be... They're expensive. And see, that's... And again, I don't know if I want to get in the business of deciding... But somebody's got to be into it, you know?
You kind of got me on that one.
I know. It was a trick question way up.
I don't feel good about it, but I'm kind of with you.
It's just a matter of degrees. We'll figure. See, I'm having so much fun because maybe I'm not a crazy lunatic, but I've got my issues.
Well, we both are. Maybe we both are.
See, they get together. Yeah. Different sides of the pool. Let's go to break real quick. I'm going to ask you about, because I talked about the SNAP ideas, so that we have sent the information to the federal government about SNAP. That did not bother me. Voter ID was the same thing. I want to talk about that on the other side. It's Aric Putnam, Senator Putnam on the Al Travis Show.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen dinner theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.
And you're in luck, because that's exactly who we are, your friends at the Capitol, and we deliver results.
At Momentum Advocacy, we bring decades of experience in lobbying, public affairs, and crisis communications.
From local nonprofits to national corporations, we help you move policy, manage your media, and make your voice heard.
We're not just seasoned pros, we're essential partners.
Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol. Learn more at momentum-advocacy.com.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
And I've got him, Senator Aric Putnam, and I think we're getting along quite spankingly well and actually agreeing on things, which is good. I don't know if we'll go this far. Just like the SNAP program, it seems to make sense to me that if I'm going to send you money from the federal government, we want to know who's getting it. That shouldn't be hidden information. The other one is the voter ID stuff. And for a guy who just went out and got his real ID, and the idea that I had to bring a bill, my driver's license, my social security card, 2 neighbors to vouch for me, and then a vial of blood. By the way, I looked up the blood thing. That's really not on the list. And the gal in the DMV did look a little strange, a little peaky to me. That may not be for everybody, but it seems the federal government already has everything that's on the voter rolls. They either gave to me my social security number, they have my name, where I live. I don't know what we're keeping from them or why we would. It seems suspect to me. Your thoughts on why not send them to the voter rolls? If they find out Bob Johnson in Minnesota died in Illinois, maybe we take him off the rolls. Okay, because Illinois didn't call us to let us know that he died in Illinois. I don't know what they're looking for, but I don't know what you can find either.
You know, I'm putting on my tin hat at this point.
Yeah,
and I'm totally comfortable wearing it, right? And because I'm acknowledging that I'm putting it on. And I'm surprised you only brought blood. I brought urine to and they didn't like that either. I guess that's not how you really are supposed to ID.
It is amazing what you got to have to just get a license anymore. I mean, you're kidding me.
I left part of my spleen. Like that seems like the joke, but no. So, which is fine because I don't know what a spleen does anyway. But
no one does.
My point is, again, like, tell me I'm nuts on this, but I really think this is part of the general paranoia and conspiratorial vibe that we have in our country right now. Because my instant response is, yeah, if I trusted the president, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
See, and that would be fine. I don't know why Biden didn't ask for it. Okay, let's go both sides. Your side was inside. I just want to know what the issue is, because here's what, and this is why it's coming around in this full circle is the story this week. Housing Stabilization Services company owner, 26-year-old kid, pled guilty to wire fraud, all this other. $27 million the kid stole from us. Never did any services. He stole from us with all this fraud we're doing. How can it be easier for this knothead 26-year-old kid to get $2.7 million from us, and I can't find out if he's even allowed to vote? It seems where our priorities are. We're going to fight the tooth to make sure Al can vote, for God's sakes, and we're not going to let anybody. But 26-year-old kid, 2.7 mil. You were 26 once. When did you come up with a brilliant idea for 2.7 mil?
So I don't see the immediate connection between those two things. I think I hear where you're coming from in terms of
I want them checking that. I want them to check, like you just said, give them some spleen, and then we'll know if you're a real company. That's what I mean. It seems easy to steal from us. That's all.
I hear you on that one, but I'm going to go back to like the sharing the voter data stuff. I'd share it in a heartbeat with George W. Bush or Ronald Reagan, or it's not a partisan thing for me. It's we currently have a federal administration that's trying to weaponize this stuff and actively being horrible and trying to find specific populations to make sure they don't vote. So if it weren't for that, I'd be like, yeah, that makes totally good sense. But again, remember I told you I was putting on my tin hat before I said that.
No, and you and I would disagree, and I get it. Yeah, orange mad bad, I get that. But I presume we have a Keith Ellison who, in Minnesota, he went and found 6,500 of the wrong people that can't vote. We'd sue the heck out of it. We have all this stuff in built in to make sure one knucklehead can't ruin it all. I mean, it is built in. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't bother me getting my guys in. So if Biden wanted it, I just don't understand our priorities, where we take citizens like you and I and make them go through this thing just to get on to drive the road, and kid can steal 26 million because it's just that easy. I want it switched around. I want it to be easy for the Al and the Arics of the world to wander around and do our little lives and try to make a living for our family. And then the bad guys, man, that's tough to be a bad guy. It seems easy to be the bad guy right now.
I think that's totally fair. I think it's totally fair, and I'm with you on that one. I think it should be hard to be a bad guy, and it should be easy to be a good one. I'm totally good with that.
Okay, so that's what we got to go from here on. Whatever you do from now on, vote on. Does that make it easier for Al or not? Because I'm not trying to get anything off the system. I just want it easier. That's all. Just easier. All right. Thank you for playing my game.
We were the good guys. I thought that you wanted stuff harder for us because we need the challenge because we're bad guys.
What? I don't mean you politically. I mean just the regular. I don't believe Senator Aric Putnam's a bad guy. He might vote wrong on just about everything I would vote for, and that's okay. That doesn't make him a bad guy. But the idea we both got to meet at the DMV and take your shoes off and have somebody give us a full body massage before we can get on a plane. It's just got to be easier to be regular people. Bad guys, make it hard. That's going to be my motto.
100% agree with you. Although, like, you did make the DMV sound kind of sexy there when you're talking about getting massages there. So maybe.
well, we didn't talk about it, but we should have. Did you see the FAA gal? I don't want to transgender guy who's suing the FAA so that he can give massages to women. No, massages, the pat down, because some lady said I don't want it, and I'm like, we're so far down a path I never even thought about that you could. Anyway, don't want to get into it. That's why I kid my head. I got to fly. I'm out of time. You know I love having you on the program, my friend. Thanks for doing this.
Great to see you. Take care.
He's Senator Aric Putnam. We agreed on a lot. It was a strange day.